It's another Skills Friday where we learn how to get our skill ready for the game so we ain't out there looking lame. Go gang! The skill for this Skill Friday that we're going to learn is how to throw the ball farther and how to throw that ball like Tua Tagovailoa. Whoa. Tua Tagovailoa. So check this out. There's 4 necessities in terms of getting the most out of your throws. And also I'm going to give you guys some drills to make sure you guys is getting that throw right. So the first necessity that we got to pay attention to is our footwork. Make sure that your feet is placed a little bit wider than shoulder width apart when you're trying to throw the ball. This is important because you want to have a good foundation when stepping into your throws, and you want to have a good foundation when being ready to throw the ball. So this is the example I like to use. Think of a house. When you're building a house, you want to make sure that you have a great foundation of what you're trying to build on. Same thing with your feet. You want to make sure that you have a sturdy base, and you want to make sure that you're able to let that thing rip when it's time to. If the base is too narrow, you won't be able to throw the ball where you want it to go, and it'll be harder to generate the power you need from up in the hips and all that. But I'll go into that a little bit later. But you won't be able to generate that power, and that's the point of throwing the ball harder. That's why we're here.
This is why we're here.
So as you see above, you want to make sure you're not overstriding. You don't want to overstride because this lets you become off balance, and a lot of times it's not really generating. It makes you a little more weaker. Once again, you're not generating enough power. Ball will sail on you. That's not cute. Don't nobody like when the ball sail on you. And we want to make sure our ball's nice and pretty looking. Second thing, you want to make sure that your grip's right. Well, if you have smaller hands, you want to grip the upper half of the ball. It's a lot harder to grip the ball when you have smaller hands because you gotta have more fingers on the laces. The ball may be a little fatter for you to grip. And it makes it a little complicated. So you gotta make sure your grip's right. Make sure you have the fingers on the laces, and make sure that we're flicking that wrist when we throw the ball. That's a very important part of throwing the ball too. Like, you gotta flick the wrist. You gotta put some touch on that thing. The third part is the load up. The load up is very important because this is where we get our power from. This is where we drive and we generate that energy to really throw that thing. So make sure that our trunk is rotating when we're loading up to throw the ball, and we gotta make sure our arm is up, ready, cocked, and ready to rock, man. Your throwing arm should be making an L. This is important, and it helps with the hips generating power and torque for the throw. As basically, as I said before with the foot, like, that's where your power comes from. It comes from your legs to your core, and that's where we let it go in the arms. So check this out also.
Omar listening.
You want to make sure that your off shoulder is pointing towards your target. That is very important in terms of throwing the ball accurately and making sure you get the ball where you need it to be. Fourth part, and this is the most important part, is the delivery and follow through. You should be leading with that elbow, and our front foot and hips should be driving this ball down the field. Just like I said, make sure that this is the part where you're going to be opening up and your arms are going to be following through. Make sure that we're stepping towards our target, and then we're letting that thing go. It should be one step throw. Should be a fluid motion. We don't want this to be real rigid and real off key, because that's how defenders will be able to be like, oh well, he's throwing the ball here. A little half second will help defenders intercept your passes, and we don't want that.
You understand me?
So the part that you're all here for.
This is why we're here.
The drills. Don't worry, man, I got you. So these are some drills to learn how to throw the ball harder, and I'll learn to throw the ball like Tua Tagovailoa. And the first drill we're going to do is flat-footed throws. This is where you're literally just rotating your trunk, throwing the ball. rotating your trunk, throwing the ball. No steps or anything. This helps with the load up. This helps you build that repetition and that motor pattern of just throwing the ball. This is important because it helps you generate that power.
Message.
And the second drill is shuffle throws. This helps with your footwork, and this helps you keep that base under you while throwing the ball. Also, as you know, in football, when you're in a pocket, you're not just going to be sitting there the whole game. So understand that, and you'll be able to move, but also not be too far out of your comfort zone of throwing the ball, too far out of that box. So you want to make sure that you're shuffling like that, stand in the pocket, and that helps you stay within your lane of throwing the ball.
Check this video out on the screen if you want to be mean on that green, or real on that field, or extort on that court. The No Baller Left Behind Act supports this video. You feel me?